It was a crisp autumn evening in the serene mountain enclave of Whispering Pines Estates when Michael Thompson's world flipped upside down. As a single dad and software engineer working from home, Michael had grown accustomed to the quiet rhythm of life in this gated community, where the biggest drama was usually a misplaced recycling bin. But that night, a blood-curdling scream shattered the peace. Heart pounding, Michael bolted from his home office toward the backyard, where he found Karen Whitaker, the iron-fisted president of the Homeowners Association, sprawled face down in the grass, groaning in disbelief. Standing over her, calm as a summer lake, was Michael's 17-year-old son, Alex, who had just executed a flawless judo flip to defend himself. Michael had raised Alex alone after his wife's passing, and the boy had always been the epitome of responsibility, top of his class, volunteer at the local shelter, and now living full-time with his dad after wrapping up a youth outreach program run by the FBI. There, Alex had picked up basic tactical defense skills, not to become some vigilante, but to stay safe in an unpredictable world. Karen, on the other hand, was the self-proclaimed guardian of moral and structural integrity in Whispering Pines. This upscale HOA neighborhood, nestled among towering pines with stunning views, prided itself on tranquility, but Karen turned it into her personal fiefdom. She enforced bizarre edicts like mandating uniform curtain colors to preserve aesthetic harmony and conducting surprise audits on bird feeders to ensure they didn't attract undesirable wildlife. Neighbors whispered about her overreach, but few dared challenge her. Trouble started brewing the moment Alex moved in permanently. Karen, with her clipboard eternally in hand, began leaving passive-aggressive notes on their door. Young man must enroll in HOA apprenticeship program to foster community spirit, one demanded. When Alex politely declined, citing his schoolwork and part-time job, Karen escalated. She spread vicious rumors at the community bulletin board, claiming Alex's FBI training was anti-HOA indoctrination designed to undermine her authority. She even petitioned to ban all martial arts practice within the neighborhood, labeling it a threat to peaceful coexistence. Michael brushed it off at first, but the harassment intensified. Soon, flyers appeared in every mailbox announcing a teen surveillance and compliance program, complete with sign-up sheets for volunteers to monitor wayward youths. Karen took it upon herself to measure the length of their porch decorations, snapping photos of Alex's workout gear in the garage and deeming it intimidating. Over the next few weeks, she filed no fewer than 17 absurd complaints against them. Alex's morning jogs were rebranded as paramilitary exercises, his bike rides as reckless patrols, and even his helping an elderly neighbor with groceries as suspicious loitering. The tension boiled over at the monthly HOA meeting, held in the clubhouse under fluorescent lights that cast harsh shadows. Michael stood up, voice steady but edged with fury, defending his son against Karen's accusations of combat training a rebellion. Karen fired back, her face flushed, insisting Alex was a ticking time bomb who could inspire other teens to defy her rules. The room divided. Some nodded in fearful agreement. Others rolled their eyes, sparking heated debates that lingered long after the gavel fell. Undeterred, Karen formed a neighborhood watch squad, recruiting busybodies Susan and Emily to tail Alex. They followed him to the park, the store, even while he mowed the lawn, binoculars in hand. Alex, ever the gentleman, greeted them with smiles and offers of lemonade, which only seemed to infuriate Karen more. The breaking point came at the annual community barbecue, where families gathered around grills under string lights. As Alex flipped burgers in his apron, Karen marched up, ruler outstretched, and publicly measured the strings, declaring them non-compliant and a safety hazard. Michael had enough. "This is harassment, Karen. You're terrorizing my son over nothing," he bellowed, drawing a crowd. Murmurs rippled through the group, with George Harlan, a retired veteran, leading the charge. "She's gone too far. HOAs are for maintenance, not mind control." The air crackled with controversy, as supporters clashed over whether Karen was a protector or a tyrant. But Karen wasn't done. Obsessed with deprogramming Alex from what she saw as his defiant ways, she plotted her most outrageous move yet. One twilight evening, dressed in full safari gear, khaki vest, cargo pants, and a utility belt, she crept into their backyard, zip ties dangling from her hand like sinister bracelets. "You're coming with me, young rebel," she hissed, lunging at him as he practiced forms alone. "I'll fix that anti-authority brainwashing." Alex's training kicked in instinctively. With a swift sidestep, he disarmed her attempt, using a gentle but firm restraint hold to pin her without harm. "Dad, call the police," he shouted, his voice steady amid the chaos. Michael rushed out, phone in hand, as their security camera captured every damning second. The sheriff's deputy arrived within minutes, lights flashing against the darkening sky. Recognizing Karen from past antics like her infamous attempt to abduct a neighbor's dog for rehabilitation, he reviewed the footage on the spot. "This is attempted unlawful restraint, ma'am," he said grimly, cuffing her as she sputtered excuses. The video exploded online overnight, remixed into memes and viral clips that racked up millions of views. Neighbors, emboldened, flooded social media with their own HOA horror stories. Bans on kids' bike streamers for visual clutter, measurements of sidewalk chalk art, and fines for excessive laughter at parties. The backlash was fierce, igniting national debates about HOA overreach. Were they essential for order or breeding grounds for petty dictators? An emergency HOA meeting convened in the clubhouse, the atmosphere electric with anticipation. The footage played on a projector, gasps echoing as Karen's zip-tie lunge replayed in slow motion. George stood, motioning to oust her as president. "We've let this go on too long. It's time for change." The vote was overwhelming. Even her loyalists faltered, whispering apologies. Karen's reign crumbled. The trial was a spectacle, charged with attempted unlawful restraint, harassment, and endangering a minor. Representing herself in a crisp pantsuit, Karen presented evidence of teen rebellion, stacks of flyers and photos of Alex's menacing dumbbells. "He's a threat to our way of life," she ranted. Alex took the stand, composed, explaining how her fear stemmed from anyone resisting her control. The prosecutor hammered home her record 47 complaints against children alone. The jury deliberated for just 17 minutes before returning guilty on all counts. Sentencing hit hard: 2 years in prison, 3 years probation, a $5,000 fine, and a permanent restraining order. The judge, banging his gavel, lambasted HOA abuses. "This isn't governance, it's bullying. Communities thrive on trust, not terror." Karen's final outburst, "You'll regret this when anarchy reigns," echoed as she was led away. In the aftermath, Victor, the new president, banned zip ties and initiated reforms, transparent rules, youth involvement programs, and limits on complaints. Michael and Alex emerged stronger, their bond unbreakable. But the scandal left Whispering Pines divided. Some hailed Alex as a hero for standing up to tyranny. Others debated if his self-defense went too far, fueling endless arguments about power, protection, and the fine line between order and oppression. In the end, one thing was clear: in the quiet mountains, silence had been shattered forever.